Imagine a world where your phone, your electric car, even your laptop suddenly became obsolete. That's the terrifying reality facing nations as the race for the world's most critical resource escalates. We're talking about lithium, and the fight to control it is about to redefine global power. For most of the 20th century, lithium didn't really matter. It was a niche material used in things like ceramics or grease for jet engines. Light, reactive, and mostly forgettable. But then, in the early 2000s, everything changed. Engineers discovered that lithium-ion batteries could store more energy, last longer, and weigh less than anything that came before them. Suddenly, the metal nobody wanted became the metal everyone needed. Today, lithium's dominance is absolute. It powers 95% of electric vehicles on the road. It stores energy from solar panels and wind turbines. It's in your laptop, your smartwatch, your wireless headphones. Without lithium, the modern world just stops. And here's the terrifying part. There are no real alternatives, not yet. Scientists have been working on sodium-ion batteries for years. They're cheaper and more abundant, but they hold 30% less energy. Solid-state batteries promise a revolution, but they're still stuck in labs, years away from mass production. Every other alternative has a fatal flaw. This means, for at least the next decade, lithium isn't just important, it's irreplaceable. The numbers tell the story. In 2010, global lithium demand was around 25,000 metric tons. By 2024, it had more than tripled. Analysts now project demand will hit 3 million metric tons by 2030. That's a 120-fold increase in just 2 decades. No commodity in modern history has seen growth like this. Not oil, not copper, not even gold. This is unprecedented, and the world isn't ready. So, where does all this white gold come from? Mostly from 2 places: hard rock mines and brine pools. Hard rock is mined from mountains in places like Australia and Canada. But the real prize is brine lithium, which hides beneath the salt flats of South America's Lithium Triangle, a vast, arid region spanning Chile, Argentina, and Bolivia. These 3 countries hold 58% of the world's known lithium reserves. This is where the geopolitical chess game begins. In Chile, the new government decided to nationalize its lithium industry, declaring that Chile's lithium belongs to Chile. The message was clear: the state is taking control. Investors panicked. Foreign mining companies scrambled. Meanwhile, next door in Argentina, the new president took the exact opposite approach, opening the country up to foreign investment with almost no restrictions. Companies from China, the US, and Europe rushed in, securing deals at breakneck speed. And then there's Bolivia, a sleeping giant, sitting on the world's largest lithium reserves. For decades, politics kept it all locked away. But recently, Bolivia announced partnerships with Chinese state-owned companies, sending shockwaves through Washington and Brussels. Because while South America controls the reserves, one country has been quietly building an empire to control the entire supply chain. While the West was debating climate policy, China was making deals. Starting in the early 2010s, Chinese companies, backed by huge state subsidies, began acquiring lithium mines, processing plants, and battery factories all over the world. They bought stakes in Australia, secured rights in Argentina, and invested billions in Africa. Most importantly, they built refineries. By 2024, China controlled nearly 80% of the world's lithium refining capacity. Let that sink in. Even if a Western company mines the lithium, it still has to be shipped to China to be turned into battery-grade material. Europe and the United States, despite their green ambitions, are entirely dependent on a supply chain they don't control. And China knows it. Automakers are in a terrifying position. The transition to electric vehicles, the key to their survival, depends on a rival they can't outbid. Elon Musk has publicly warned about lithium bottlenecks. Ford and Volkswagen are scrambling to secure their own supplies. The damage is done. China spent a decade preparing. The West is a decade behind, and the clock is ticking. But beneath the geopolitics, there's a human cost. In the Atacama Desert, indigenous communities watch their ancestral lands get carved up. Lithium mining uses a staggering amount of water, up to 500,000 gallons per ton. In one of the driest places on Earth, this is devastating. Water tables drop, lagoons dry up, and flamingo populations dwindle. Sacred sites are bulldozed for evaporation pools. In Argentina, protesters block roads, demanding that lithium profits fund schools and hospitals instead of disappearing into corporate pockets. In Zimbabwe, reports of unsafe working conditions and environmental damage paint a grim picture of what clean energy really looks like on the ground. This is the paradox of the lithium age. We're told EVS will save the planet, but the extraction process creates its own catastrophe. The lithium revolution isn't clean, it's just different. But amid the chaos, a quieter revolution is brewing. Scientists are racing to solve the lithium problem. What if we could recycle it? In California, Redwood Materials is building a battery recycling empire, aiming to create a closed-loop supply chain where old batteries become new ones. They estimate that by 2030, recycled materials could supply up to 30% of US battery demand. Then there's direct lithium extraction, or DLE. It's a new technology that can pull lithium from brine in hours instead of months, using 90% less land and 50% less water. If it scales, it could be a game, but it's still expensive and unproven at a large scale. And what about alternatives to lithium? Sodium-ion batteries are the closest contender. They're cheap, safe, and made from abundant materials. China's largest battery maker, CATL, is already producing them. For now, their lower energy density makes them better for stationary storage, not cars. Solid-state batteries remain the holy grail, promising double the range and faster charging. But mass production is still 5 to 10 years away. The innovation is real, but the timeline doesn't match the urgency. We need solutions now, not in a decade. So, what happens next? There are a few possibilities. 1. South American countries could form a lithium cartel, an OPEC, for lithium, setting prices and controlling supply. 2. China could tighten its grip, restricting exports and leaving the West with crippling shortages. 3. Innovation could save the day. DLE recycling, a new battery tech, could reduce our dependency, stabilizing the market. And then there's the wild card. Conflict, not necessarily a shooting war, but trade wars, economic sanctions, and cyber. History shows us that control over critical resources always leads to conflict. Oil, water, lithium will be no different. This isn't just about batteries. It's about energy independence, technological supremacy, and who gets to define the 21st century. Lithium was supposed to save us. It was the key to a cleaner, greener world. Somewhere along the way, it became another battleground. Another reminder that progress always comes at a cost. The question now isn't whether we can transition to clean energy. The question is, who will control that transition, and what will we sacrifice to get there? The lithium war has already begun. The only question left is, who will win? Thanks for watching. If you found this documentary insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world. See you next time.